there in the internet, and also good evening to our small but mighty live audience here at the Frontenac in Regina. Like I said, small and mighty. I'm Gerald Hill, and I'd like you to meet my brand new book of poems called Crooked at the Far End, published by Radiant Press. The beautiful design by Tanya Woke. The editor was the wonderful Brenda Schmidt. And the cover art is a piece called Boating in Saskatchewan in the 21st Century by Richard Gorenko. With a virtual hug, a kiss, a handshake, take your pick, I invite you to join us on a video photo montage tour into the worlds of this book and out again. The globe here will keep us moving, as will our crack technical team, Al Connors in Ottawa, Tom Hill in Vancouver. And if you have any comments or questions, Tom can relay them to me. So I think we're ready to go. We've got the globe, we've got the book, and thanks to you, we've got the audience. Our first stop will be the Wallace Stegner House in East End, Saskatchewan, where, in the manner of ancient travelers, we invite the gods to protect and guide us on the journey ahead.
I pack whatever fits my father's jacket, a jackknife, tin of smoked meats, vital creams and lotions. His jacket, GWG, hangs from a kitchen chair, westbound. I'll finish my pot of tea, leave a note for care of the house, lift my arms into the jacket and go. Morning is a bright-eyed goddess in disguise. The river, a thin road to an iron bridge. Let us know, Muse, what tumbles from the hills this morning? What thought rocks? What bones? Look, prepare yourself. A man who was once a boy is leaving the yard. Yes, leaving the yard at the Stegner House, we bike, paddle, hike, walk 600 kilometers north and a few east to beautiful Emma Lake, Saskatchewan. We imagine a series of happy hours, summer evenings with a beverage or two. The lake is about a football kick out the window, or for you baseball fans, just a soft liner over the heads of the infielders. And to these happy hours, we invite a series of guests, people we admire who happen to have been alive between the years 1927 and 1930, including the writers Virginia Woolf, Jack Kerouac, Robert Croce, the jazz singer Ella Fitzgerald, even a couple of actors, Marlon Brando and Marilyn Monroe, and these two gentlemen, one of my grandfathers, E.G. Hill, and a Benedictine monk named Brother Bernard. He butts his cane at my door. I let him in. "Thank you, sir," says he. I don't know what accent. He's thicker than I imagined, whiter through the beard. "The sun is a warm one today." He takes a rum in a hand stronger than mine. I was 45 by the time I got to Saskatchewan by train, 3 children, winter. I froze my whiskers off getting to the farm. 5 more children in the next 12 years. I built a house. They were good years, except for the last ones. I walked 40 miles to get here, and that was nothing. A man at home with a single chair. He likes his own company. Only wind can make him laugh. Brother Bernard arrives just when I've set out the radishes. Baby dills, Saskatoons. "Come on," he says. "I've got half an hour for cribbage, your deal." I saw a doe and 2 fawns. Wish I'd seen them sooner. Right out there. He points with one hand. slaps down a double run of 3 with the other. 15-4 and 8's a dozen. They were mule deer, not whitetails, he says. I'm busy counting my hand. Pair of queens is all. I'm skunked in minutes. He works the cards as if dealing for a front-end loader tractor. I'd pray, but what good is that when the cards won't hear? Whatever you need to know, Bernard can open with his jackknife and lay down his cards and bury you. If you've just joined us, welcome to our tour of Crooked at the Far End, my new book of poems from Radiant Press. We're heading west now to the slopes of Tunnel Mountain, also known as Sleeping Buffalo in the Canadian Rockies, right about there. From our vantage point at the Banff Center, we gaze west along the Bow Valley or southeast down a ravine toward Bow Falls, right below the Banff Springs Hotel. And there we look and remember and write down the results on a page of water and a page of train. I could breathe a lake full and empty it. I could catch and eat the quiet things, give my body air. I could preen and eat till the stars come home, could dissolve to sand, come back as current pressing the bottom of a feel-good canoe, come back herd. I could fake petals, stir or carry cloud debris, run for blue, tell shadows what tomorrow's sky will see. If rain picks up, I could draw myself in rain strokes or sleep. Oh, how lovely the sleep sensation. Nothing but natural cause. I fill a page with emptiness known as love, known as naked body on the 6th floor lounge. I go on like that. Magpies torturing mule deer and squirrels, and years ago, my cat Purina. And hey, I found, what's the word? A sequence. Portrait of the artist as a young old man. The play, the sharp fears, first named, and then as the series might develop, deeply revealed. That much takes about a page. I'm tempted beyond the walls of this ravine. Ravine it, that's the key. Downhill, take the hoodoo trail to the river. Look, tourists. Shh, one's about to speak. I reach my hand into water so clear I don't hear the train. Shh, the train. In the year 2010, I lived and wrote for a month at Hawthornden House, south of Edinburgh, Scotland, which would be right about here on our globe. I soon discovered that this was a region filled with pubs and inns and taverns and bars. I discovered furthermore that I worked just as well in them as I did in the 400-year-old Hawthornden House. So I invented and explored a few imaginary public houses of my own. And right now we can visit 2 of them. One is called the Easy Flynn, and the other is called the Inn with the rest of the names. Breathe a scatter of starlings, tint of ash, the silent work of being watched by deer in Scottish wind and all the winds that ever blew. Open the gate, walk a narrow road, stone walls bent with hedge, and a stable. A horse in blankets calls another horse out for a ride. Go easy, Flynn, she says, the rider, patting the neck of her mare. That narrow road, Skoda zooming by at 65. Beneath your feet, the wind has left the rubbish of a late spring storm. And here comes the number 41. The man in the front seat is blind. You heard him last night in the Easy Flynn complain of a horse blocking the road to Poulton Mill. Walk that narrow road. A choice of wrong turns, public bar door or lounge door. Choice of lager, 5p more on the lounge side. And whether to open your book or not, the hard work of a word in this wind. Easy, Flynn.
Call it the windy in that pushes you, the troubled arms folded there, the shirt and trousers for looking good or the Sunday underwear. Call it the old log in for the joke you tell, the mudslide 'cause it's good and dirty, the spoon and porridge at 8 o'clock, the blue sky by 11:30. Call it beam if you fancy single words, Jim's beam if your name is Pat. Jim beam's folly if your roof's too high, Jim beams are falling after that. Call it book of dreams if you opened one, a line of rock and stone on page 10. The head and pillow all night long, the wish I had a longer bed. Call it that's enough if it ever is, a line or two more when it's not. A place where some Canadian had, a place where some Canadian had, a place where some Canadian had an afterthought.
If a city, broadly imagined, is where inner and outer worlds intersect, cities can be anywhere, including this region of southern Portugal and Spain, somewhere here on the globe, known as Andalusia. I can't find it at the moment. Nevertheless, there I met two cities, one the 40th anniversary of the revolution in Portugal, and another a love poem contest on Valentine's Day. For the Carnation Revolution that dumped the Salazar regime in Portugal in 1974, and for Lucy, who joined me in celebrating 40 years later. Not a shot was fired April 25th, 1974, climbing on tanks and gunboats and kneeling beside rifles. They told us to stay inside, but we heard music and ran to our flowers and cast them down to encourage the generals and free ourselves. The tyrant, after 40 years, must fall. How we sing now the rain of carnations, every window slick with it. So sweet is our remembering that music.
Where the sea sings its rapture at the shore, we love. In the wooden ecstasies of trams, we love. The tiny wheels and curved track, and the one long arm that draws the charge. 3 women under one umbrella in wide sunglasses, though skies are dull. These women in the dark coats and silk scarves we love. The dogs for whom love is water we protect with our love. Ascending any staircase, with a key to any room we love, in our single beds, secrets of our bodies we love, hands, eyes, the middle, or should we say depth, even death of night, no sound from the street but traffic of screams we love. Potatoes near our plazas we love, knowing these treasures, like love, will be consumed. Square-headed stones underfoot we love, numerals and letters of license plates, children calling from inside their walls, all bells, all cathedrals, spires and domes, all prayers we love. We still and always love the tender fits language endures, lost souls asleep before the gate. Smokers in doorways lighting the streets with brief flames we love. Every time a poet forgets a word or turns away refusing, we love. In the sweetness of view, the gaze upon the city, on every street we love again, all the way to the sea.
Living atop a 90-meter high sandstone bluff overlooking Lake Ontario, well, that gave me pause. This was at the Doris McCarthy House in Scarborough, Ontario. As the dust blew and terra firma dissolved speck by speck, I began to think that maybe I was next to disintegrate and show up again as the shoreline of Toronto Island. Nevertheless, I hung on and wrote a series of poems called Songs for Scarborough Bluffs. And here are two of them.
Geese practice feeding and repose. If you want to boot them off by stamping your feet or dissing them in Latin, they feign scurry, a brief dip over the bluff, or indifference, no cocking of neck, no fearsome wing play, no goosing. They give you the tail feather and rip at grass further over. That pond Doris built in '64 for the light and breath we're given on this planet turns goose bidet, preen city for a dozen or more Branta canadensis sipping or airing out their wings in the pool of view. Pump clogged with goose shit, lawn mined with turds the size of mice, too bad. You can stay inside. Write down your terms of praise for pond, lake, sky, all of God's creatures but the goose. If you could matter to a goose, you wouldn't. Any goose would tell you, you're the bad guy. We're just eating apples. You paid $5,000 in the '70s for a cottage on the Scarborough Bluffs. Knowing bluff all, except 90 meters up, gives good horizon. You painted the cottage blue for the lake, blue for the sky in the lake. What the hell, blue was your mom's favorite color. Kitchen porch and living room, bedroom off the back. You could wake as if returning from weeks on islands, waves before and after. You could sip away. Some days, fine dust swirls off the cliff face, taking a while to mean, you reckon. Millions of years, dreams crash at the base of the bluffs, and a barn and log house vanished last year. Things become unstable. Every time I come here, more has fallen, you say, living toward the day it finally goes.
Our tour of Crooked at the Far End by Radiant Press takes us to two more stops, or as they seemed in the writing moments, starting points. Wherever I go to write, I pack some Lorca, some Federico Garcia Lorca, the Spanish playwright and poet. And it was Lorca and the 2-for-1 at My Paradise Beach Club in Puerto Morales, Mexico, here in the Mayan, the Mayan coast, that got me going on a surrealism and beer series I called Righting Wrongs.
Kiss the pelican glide. Kiss the waves. Kiss the shadows. The frigates when they come this slow. Kiss low. Kiss the change. The shine. Kiss the Coca-Cola. Kiss the 2-for-1. Kiss the fan. The hat off. Kiss the lounge chair island in the hot white sand, the beach. Kiss that. Kiss the empanada. Kiss wire. Kiss the sign. The way down to the breeze and the Mayans. Kiss the tide. the time it takes. Kiss the long vanishing. Light. All the years have dreamed us rotten. Heal me in your empty sling. Bird with yellow eye. Fries and paper surprise the dead Santa Fe woman. Oh, her. Song me tender, school tale. Bird with yellow eye. To define is callous. Marie didn't happen, dark brown. I stall at your order, your slight riding by. Spear me, bird with yellow eye. Work a dime less. Swear by the water that takes us in. Bird with yellow eye.
Well, what would a tour be without a terminus? Ours is the province of Saskatchewan, right about here, of which I was poet laureate in 2016. In the final poems of the book and of our tour, I pretend that the world functions perfectly in every way when and because I become poet laureate.
When I become poet laureate, we pause at the corner, cocking an ear. We hear fado music from the hallways of Government House, and flamenco downtown, and jazz from every bell tower and glockenspiel, and bluegrass at rush hour. Fashion-wise, citizens wear the hottest brand in retail, Saskatchewan. Stylish, easy on the black. Every morning roars to life. All lights stay green except the red ones, and no matter what the traffic, we get home. When I become poet laureate, every goose sings like Adele and confines its defecation to a rocky beach east of the city. No turds the size of cabbage rolls, no hissing. Geese refuse all offers of bread. When I become poet laureate, we all lose 20 pounds, and we look good. Sharp duds, decades old, spring onto hangers, ready to wear. This very outfit takes me by the arms and legs and brings me here, and thanks to the outfit, the songbirds return, and the bees, sweeter than ever. The wellness index for living daily, or wild, rises to its highest level in 100 years. When I become poet laureate, another hour of sleep, go ahead, becomes policy in the workplace, province-wide. In schoolrooms, safely, we all find the teachers, and they the assignments that lift all who write or grade them to peaks of knowledge and delight. And over vast tracts of affordable housing, landlords speak without memos and listen to their tenants. What do you need, say the landlords. Would you like a new stove? Would you mind if we adjust your rent down? When I become poet laureate, the Trans-Canada Highway flows through the hearts of our hometowns again. Stores revive, high schools reopen, piano recitals, für Elise, please the ear. And girls who drive to Swift Current the afternoon of grad to get their hair done, they make it home okay. Kids who want to see the world elsewhere, go and come back believing in the power of stories, including their own. When I become poet laureate, we climb the spiral staircase up the dome of the legislature to gaze upon the countryside. We see no potholes from here to the border. We see clean water shining and wild grass and cities that fill and tasteful burbs that never flood. We see our loved ones safely buried. We see industries of hope and growth, and visitors from other lands sing in their own voices who they are. We see ourselves in a land alive. And when I become poet laureate, this is all to be continued.
That sunset means the end, crooked or otherwise, of our tour. I'm so glad you came along. I'm so glad you were here in our studio audience. I hope you enjoyed it. For further adventures, please order the book from an independent bookseller near you or from the publisher, Radiant Press. I thank John and Deborah from Radiant, the crack technical team, Al and Tom, and I thank you, the audience, for being with us tonight. Thank you very much. So long from Regina.